So, welcome back to the channel of me working on this rusty old E30, was it 325i MTEC 2, and we're going to be working on this lower section of, or the inner piece down here of the footwell and the bulkhead, and we're also going to be doing work in this area as well of the engine bay / bulkhead and up under here. So, and we shall be doing this, and I'll show you how I did it. Hopefully, I've sorted out my filming issues. A lot of people have commented that my uploads keep coming up in, I think it's 360 or 480, and I'm not a tech whiz. I've been trying. I thought, yeah, get a better camera, that's going to sort it all out. But it turns out that when I'm uploading it from my computer to YouTube, I'm cocking it right up. So hopefully this one is going to be all right. I'm sure you guys will let me know, as it's been commented a few times. So let's get on with this video and see how it all turns out. Right, I'm just going to see if I can scrub a little bit more off in here, and then before I go cutting out and try and make a piece. Oh great, now this is dying. Try and make a piece to go up in there before I cut it out too much. So I've got the old wire wheel and the grinder. So giving this a bit more of a scrub up. It is just as bad as what I thought it was, so I think with my limited skills I am going to make a piece to go here, and then a separate piece to go in this bit. Yeah, because I've got which I'll use the stretching and shrinking machine. I've got a folding edge onto it which comes back this way, so if I measure up something, so about 250 and about 60 wide. Even though that is crusty up there, this is the widest part, and then I'll just replace, hopefully just replace that bit. So I'll go and cut myself a bit of 60 by 250, and I've got to allow for the flange as well. So, and the flange is what, about 15 mil. I've not said 60, did I? So 75 mil wire will allow for me a little bit on the side. So if I fold up something like that, then I can use my shrinking machine to just shape that actually. The rest of it should form itself to that, and then I shall cut the rest of it out of the way once it's a good shape. So I'm going to cut myself a piece of material for that, and then get set up with my shrinker, and then just back and forward to see what we can do with getting that in there. Alright, so I quickly folded that bit up. I think I should have done it a little bit longer, but it doesn't matter. So there is a shape. So I'd say we've got a bit of shape there. And put that into there. So that bit there needs to be replicated onto that. So somewhere there and there. I suppose we have to stretch that bit actually, yeah. So we need stretch put into the old little stretching and shrinker, and just crimp that bit along there a few times to see if we can get it to change shape there. Go a bit lower. And pull that bit off. Alright, so let's go and I'm going to nip that little bit off there, and then with the machine we'll get that set up and just do a couple of bits on there, and then just keep coming back and forward, offering it up until it's roughly right. So I said stretch, didn't I? So if I put that stretch in there, see that's already done something, so I'm going to go and offer that up. And if it needs a bit more, we'll just come back and do a bit more. Right, so I've had a quick offer up, and I need to just put a little bit more, well, just a bit more up there. So might be a bit too much, but I think I need to kick that back the other way, so that means I'm going to have to swap these over, which is a pain in the arse. So go and check it again. I've nipped off the little bottom bit there while I was over there a second ago and just curled that bit up as well, because that bit's rusty, so I can cover that up. And I might have to open this flange that way a little bit, but I should be able to just dress that out. So I'm going to offer it up again and see where we're at. Right, so this is what you just seen me shrink up. It's not bad, so I've shaped the bottom of that. I think we can just push that in. Then I'll have to make another section for there with a curve on it. So can we, I could probably cut this bit off a little bit, because I don't think that flange would have come, so I can nip a little bit off here and then maybe just curve that bit around a bit. So I'm going to do that. So I'll just put a tiny bit of shape into that, so I'll do that on my little anvil and I shall be back. Oh yeah, something like it. I reckon we scribe round that and I think weld that in there, and then I can just dress that back that way. So that flange there, I need to dress that back that way just a little bit, but I think it'll be easier once it's welded in. So I need to mark round that. I've probably got the bluntest Sharpie in the world on this job. Right, cut that out. Oh, God's sake. Right, where are we, people? Where are we? I've lost my glove. Right. So I'll cut to this bit out. Go in there. So I think I'm just going to have to tack it in those pieces and then work my way up, moving this piece in and out, because it's still not 100% right shape. I could do a cutting through there. Or can I use my gimpy, because that's rusty, so can we just bend that, or can I sand it? I think with sander. Because we've got to replace this piece in here, you can see, and that piece, but I want to replace that bit, then I've got something to work this bit to, and then go on the inside, and then make a piece on the inside, and remove some of that paneling as well. But I am, oh cross, this almost run out. Let's wore a belt out. Well, get your money's worth out of belt. It's almost like that panel is part of the bulkhead, so it'd be a bigger piece. I think it'd be easier for me to make it to there, and then I'll butt the other one up to this one. Hey, do you not know? Right, so this is the last piece of metal I've got, and I need to go and get another bit this week at some point, so we're going to get on and just mark a few lines on here, and then we can go and have a look at the stretching, no, maybe just hammering and dolly, and then have a bit of a play with the English wheel to see if we can get the right shapes in this as I need. Right, so this is well, you just watch me mark it. I've just hacked it up. That goes out that way round. So, yeah. I'm not worried about that for time. So I'll go and dress that, put some big lumps in that, and then use my little English wheel. I think I can change the bits in it and then see if I can put a tiny bit of shape into it. So let's go and see if I can make a picture of that, because this is the last piece of metal I've got, and let's see if we can get it to fit. That's the sandbag anyway, in a bag, but I'm going to try not to get it too dirty. So oh god, oh, that is literally, I have been back and forward a heap of times. I think it's somewhere near, but obviously I am teaching myself this as I go. I should really have watched some videos on how to do it, but I kind of like to learn as I go, so So I think we're getting close, so I'm going to have another quick offer up, and if it's close enough, I can dress the rest of it in, and I'm going to go for it. So I've just cut a bracket out here so I can get to this rust. And I can't really film it at the same time as me doing it because it's so tight and I'm not small and you can't see past me. I mean, you could have set it up from over there, but it was just terrible. So this is what we've got to deal with now. So this bit down here, we've got to sort out this, remake that hole, which is where the electrics come through. But we have rust up here, so I'll cut this out, trim this piece out here as well, because that's all rusty. I should be able to make that inner piece, maybe in 2 pieces. So that is what I'm doing at the moment. And from the other side. Oh dear. Right, couldn't really get. I did show you this bit earlier, like the camera angle. I could do with someone doing this for me, filming. But I need to get this bit out completely. But I did have I've got an air saw, but I can't find the adapter to make it work. So I'm going to have to do it either a crude way or kind of I've got like a die grinder bit on the end of this, which I can get into the corner with hopefully. And then just try and chop that out, and then before replacing that, I think I'm going to have to replace this section in here first and then build that back up afterwards. So if I can get this out, clean it up so it's ready to put a new piece in, and then we'll attack this lower piece here, and then there's also a bit just behind there which is going to need a bit of trimming out. So I've got this bit to do, and then there's also a bad bit on the other side, but we will get to that. I want to do this, get this addressed, and then I'm going to probably move to the rear arch and the other bits what need sorting there, because there is tons of small bits which I've missed out. But I'm going to go round and maybe just do a video on that of just like me just buzzing around it in time lapse or something, doing all the stupid little bits, because I think those stupid little bits are going to take just as long as what it has to do all the bits I've done so far. So let's try and get this bit out here, and then we'll make a template of this inside, I think, well, some kind of template of what's there, or shape up a piece of material which is right to go in there, and then take it from there. So let's see if I can get this cut out of this. Right, what's that bit gone? Need to mark a line along there to get that out. Might be able to do that with the disc. So I bet this runs out of battery as soon as I start cutting. This tool is starting to become useful. Didn't think it was going to. So, alright, so we've cut that out. There's no point cleaning up too much of that. Now I need to go and make a template of this internal piece. And then we can mark that up, cut that out. I might see if we can even tack some of these on. Or might be able to leave it if I can clean it up enough. So, let's get on with that bit. Right, so I want to mark here. I'm going to make it easier, it's just you could leave that. But there's a stud here which needs to go back in. Right. About 25 now. Like that. So we need a rough kind of shape, and then we can mark it in. I can remark this hole. Once I've cut this out, then I can lay that hole on top and get it somewhere near. I didn't film it, but I thought, how am I going to make a template of that hole what was just there? So I've used some masking tape. So now I've done that, I should be able to just gauge a better line, and then we can trim it along there. This is our new bit here. Alright, so that's it unpeeled. That was a bit of a pain in the ass to unpeel, but I should be able to just trim bits off of it now. And then I'll stick it on my new bit of steel. Right, so that's that unpicked. So hopefully there's enough sticky left on that. Chop that out. Alright, we are somewhere near, so get some tacks on it and hopefully see if we can get this in a good place and fill it up, clean it up. And then to finish this bit off, we've just got hopefully just the one bit on the outside. Oh, great. More rust up there to look at. Love this car. Oh, get rid of those. So now we've got, so we've done the inside. Now I've got to look at this bit here, which goes from there down, which found that, so we've just shaped that up, and then just that last little bit across there, and that's that bit done. And I suppose they've got this bracket which was on here, I can put that back on, so we'll have a look at that as well, and I can call that good. So roughly. Come on. Okay. Oh, don't know how straight that is. What I might do is go and cut that. Actually looks reasonable. Go and shape this up, offer it back up, and then may have to trim that up a little bit there. So that's no drama, so we can do that. So I'm just going to go nip that off with my little hand shear, and then we'll come back and have a look again. Okay, last little bit-ish. So I've had a bit of a clean around, fill up some holes, because this bracket has got to go back on there. But I need to fill up that bit. So if I go and roll that edge over a little bit, and see if we can get it to marry up with that, and then we can do some final marks and cut that. So alright, we can mark that from underneath. Actually, go and cut that little bit off there. That might help us get it back into the corner a bit nicer. Oh dear, right, bit of a gap to fill up. So, oh god, my back is killing me leaning over this turd. Ah. Right, I'm just going to put a bend. This is just a bit of like aluminium checker plate. I'm just going to roll the end over a little bit, and then I can hold it up in there and fill that up. Right, and I've shown you before, like the purpose of that is the steel doesn't stick to the aluminium doesn't stick to the steel, so we've got something to fill up, and there's a gap. If the rest of it's good, you can fill it up. There you go. Let's fill that up. Right, I've got to drill 2 holes and clean it up, so I should do that, and then I'll show you what it's like when it's all finished. Okay, so this is what we've ended up with. This is quite difficult to do, actually. That's the bits I've done today, and then under here. So we've replaced this piece. We've done this piece, this lower, not that piece, this lower piece here. Yeah, so it's that bit and the top bit. So once this is all undersealed up again, this will look alright. There's certain bits, I'm happy with most of this, couple of little bits I'm not quite happy with. But yeah, and then if we go to the inside, so I'll put the hole back in, and the light is terrible now. Let me just go and see if I can get some more. Alright, a bit better. Oh, I do apologise for the lighting, this is terrible, isn't it? But that's what I've done. So yeah. Yeah, so that's it. So that's all I've managed to achieve this week is that inner piece, and I like the inner bulkhead, inner bit of arch, and then put a couple little tiny like fixing points back for like the sound deadening. So that's all we've done. So hopefully next week I will be able to get a bit more done, but that's probably been the worst bit I've had to do so far. And shock horror, I've got to do the other side as well. So more joyous stuff to come. I can see from where I'm looking now that some of the lower piece I won't have to do. I should imagine it'll get worse anyway, so I've got to go in and unpick it and stuff like that, and see what it is. So remember, like and subscribe, and I do apologise for some of the sound was terrible in this video, and hopefully I'll get the quality right this time, but I think some of the sound's terrible, so I'm still learning, and it's just one of those things. Hopefully get better at it, but you never know. So yeah, hopefully I'll catch you in the next week or so.